So you wash your tomatoes. I washed my tomatoes with vinegar. That's how I wash my fruits. And then I cut them. You don't have to cut them small because when you boil them, they're gonna kind of like cut and become small. So there is no need to cut small. I waited my tomatoes, they were fully ripe so they can make good stew and taste on your food. This one is so when you are putting them on that stove, you need to kind of like turn them so they don't get sticky to the pot, so they can be hot or evenly. So my way I do my canning, when they get hot, I put little lemon for preservative. While it's getting hot, I have my bottles, my canning jars. I clean them. I put them in hot water. They boil for a few minutes. And then I put them in my oven so they can be still warm. Because if you put a hot something in the jar, and the jar is cold, it's gonna break. So I just want my canning jars to be still warm. Yeah, so I just want my tomatoes to be very hot. Then I add my little lemon juice for preservative. So I have done this for a couple of years now, and still it works for me. Just getting them ready for winter, because summertime I do gardening and I have a lot of tomatoes, so I don't want to go for a waste. So I like to do canning for winter. Yeah, all right. Tomatoes. These bottles are very warm. So if you are planning to do canning, I will just advise you get a canning kit. Canning kit come with the bottle holder when they are warm, the funnel, the tightener. Usually when I do it too tight, I use this one to open, and they open so quick. This is kind of like the bubble remover, so when they get full you just turn them around. I'm missing one to hold the lids from the hot water. I don't know where it went, so I'm gonna just try to look for it tomorrow. Just hang on for a second. Focus there. I'm making some other tomatoes here. Let me turn off this. This is the best thing you will ever do to yourself. Just put it in here. Are you showing on that? So don't make it too full. I like to leave it right there. So I did too much. Okay, so I'm gonna keep doing this, and then I'm gonna show you in a little bit for the next process. Okay, so these lids, they are hot. You have to wash it and then boil it, then you dry it before you put it. Why you have dirty? So these lids are clean. I just took them off from the stuff. You have to make sure they are dry. And then I dry them out up here so they can be able to seal nice, and so your tomatoes doesn't get spoiled. It takes a lot of work. It won't be nice to make your tomatoes spoiled. This is the rings. You have to make sure they are clean and dry too. Like to do this. You tighten them. Like to use this to tighten it to make sure they are nice and tight. And then I like to put them down way for a few minutes. Then they seal themselves nice and tight. The bottles are very hot. You need to be careful. When I do that, make sure they are nice and tight. In few minutes, you're gonna lift them up and you wait them to dry. Not to dry, but you lift them up for the next day. You can keep them. So that's how I do my tomatoes. Thank you. Subscribe my channel. So this is our final. The tomatoes are done. I'm done canning them. So I'm gonna just flip them. They're gonna be having some sound noise. They're gonna be singing. So usually it can take up to maybe 2 days before I keep my tomatoes. I really want them to be all the way cooled down. They have to cool down. So I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna leave it like that for a few minutes. So I wanna just leave my tomatoes out here, and then after they cool down, I'm gonna keep them in the storage. Usually you don't have to put them in the freezer or fridge. You keep them in the room temperature. Yes, so they can go for a couple of years. For me, I usually use them every winter. Like now I'm still having the last year ones. I'm still using them. So, and then, so next year, what I will do, I will just keep the cans, the rings. The only thing I will dispose is the lid, because they are not reusable. I always buy them every year, new ones. So, but the canning jar and the ring, they're gonna just stay. You're gonna reuse them until, like, sometimes the rings, they get too loose. So when you tighten them, they don't stop. They keep running around. That's loose. Don't use it. Just throw it away. It's not really expensive. When you buy the 12 jars, last time I bought it, it was like 9 something, like almost $10. Last week when I stopped at Walmart, it was like 11 something, so it's almost $12. So don't reuse if the ring is loose, because it won't be tight. But this is the lid, so we don't reuse this. We just throw them away every time we use it. You hear they're starting the music. So every year you have to buy new lids. But the jars and the rings, you can use them over and over. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Just subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you for hanging out with me. Bye.